I was a flight paramedic for AirVac Life Team, and on May 13th, 2018, I got off work of working an overtime shift at AirVac 40 and was driving back home to AirVac 12 and was going around a corner, and some young men were on the wrong side of the road and hit me head on. AirVac 40 came, picked me up, took me to Springfield at Cox Hospital. From my accident, I had whiplash that hurt my carotid arteries. And so because of that, I resulted in an ischemic stroke. And after that, I had 3 hemorrhagic strokes, which are bleeds, brain bleeds. And so I was having 1 blood clot stroke and 3 brain bleed strokes at that. And then I also had a moderate DAI. And then I also broke my temporal bone, my right mastoid bone in my skull base, and my nasal septum. I broke my clavicle and a few ribs, and then my abdomen was busted open, and my bowels were severed, and then I broke my back. At Cox, they were mainly just trying to keep me alive, and so they dealt with mainly my bowels and everything like that. It just stabilized me. They transferred me to Denver, Colorado. I stayed there for 3 months at a hospital called Craig. There, they were worried about my hemiplegia, my left-sided facial droop. Also, with all the skull fractures, I had a bunch of cranial nerves that were damaged, and each nerve was in control of something important. And so with the cranial nerve 1 being my smell, it kind of messed up my taste with that, so they were a little worried about that. They were worried about my saliva production, but the biggest thing was my vagus nerve was hurt, and so my left vocal flap didn't work. And so they were trying to give me a voice back and an ability to protect my airway. Throughout the 3 months, they got me able to stand, and I was able to walk with a cane. Right when I was leaving, I was allowed to walk with a cane. And then I was discharged to Pate in Dallas. And when I got there, their goals were to have me walking without a cane, and to be able to drive again. And they were doing a whole lot of tests to figure out how I would do learning to get back into school one day, vocational rehab. So my cranial nerve 6 was hurt, and so they were trying to do a lot of rehab to get my eyes to work, and they're working. They're close to working back to normal. My hearing in my left ear was pretty bad after the accident, and so they were able to do a surgery and rebuild it. And so when I left Pate, I was able to pretty much hear, walk, and drive again. My wife was just clobbered with everything, doing everything for me. I got lost all the time. I couldn't remember anything. That was probably the biggest thing. She would tell me, set a reminder, send me another reminder saying, "Tony, please do this, please do this, please do this." And I wouldn't do it. And I worry, for me, it worked out. I had Nicole, my wife. But I worry bad for someone that doesn't have someone right there, holding their hand and guiding them back to being healthy, because it would have been dangerous probably if I hadn't had her. I was speaking at the Capitol building for EMS week, and so I wrote Danny. I called him and said, "Hey, I'm speaking here if y'all want to come." And so just so happened they did come to it and supported me there, and we got to meet and get to know each other there. And after that, it's been rolling. I think this is a great thing here, honestly, because I didn't know about it. And so I was fighting Social Security and trying to get this done. And when I say me, my wife, she was going through heck trying to get us sustainable. And versus here, they can come and get the resources and the information they need. I think it's good. I'm happy. I do think most TBI people are going to have depression. That's a big part of it, especially ones that, your frontal lobe's involved. So medicine, I take Prozac myself, but I think having a medication that'll help you not get too depressed is a big thing, because once you're not depressed, you stay motivated to get up and keep trying. Hope is the biggest, probably the most important thing, second to your lungs and your heart. And so if, I feel good, but I had to have, the meds, support. But I'm able to I have a life again. And I really didn't know if that was going to happen. But I go to school again, getting a job, play with my baby, play basketball with my son, ride the four-wheeler, do whatever I want to do. I'm living again.